Welcome back to another episode of Puff Drink Talk. We are here with the one and only Dylan Wilson. Who else is with us?
Me.
Who are
Mr.
you?
Me.
Me.
Mr. Me.
Hilton.
And George. Do you remember when you're not busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What
do.
was good? What was bad about that time?
Idle hands or the devil's playground or some shit, whatever that fucking saying is. But I think you have, the beauty of simplicity when you don't have a lot going on. Sometimes that can be nice. Sometimes it's hard to find meaning in things when you don't have enough going on. So that's the thing about life is everything has its own little catch-22, if you will. Everything has a plus and a minus, a pro, a con. Hilton and I talk about this on a daily basis of what is or isn't greener on the other side of the fence. We just talked about it earlier, and it's perspective is a fucking interesting thing. And sometimes you need it to.
Well, when we were not busy, Dylan, we had time to investigate about cigars, about clear ice.
You can
Remember that we did so many things, like skills, that you only have time to advance on. Well, you can only advance on if you have the time to do that.
It's like
To practice
But
on a
we
daily basis.
come into the office. There's no sales. There's nothing to do. Like we could just go home. Like, hey, you want to learn how to make clear ice?
Yes.
And then maybe a customer comes in or something. I don't know. You just find a way to stay positive.
Yeah, and then sending emails and stuff. I mean, we were doing stuff, but
Yeah,
at
we
the
weren't
same
just doing
time, like
nothing.
waiting. Say we did these actions, so now I gotta wait for something to come back.
Let's watch some YouTube. Let's
Yeah,
learn something.
and doing videos. Remember, we did videos and
Deep into CNC machine.
CNC machine because like, hey, let's develop this and that for customers and custom home customers and whatnot. So we end up doing quite a lot of things that and learning things.
You and I are very similar in the regard of we need brain stimulation. So even if I don't have a lot of stuff going on, I like to learn. I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a nerd, and I do like to learn stuff, and it's stimulating for your brain, And our wives will give us shit about it because we pick up things and then we don't stick to it. It's like because we like the act of learning more than we like the act of doing whatever it is that we're doing. Even though I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, but I more enjoy just like the knowledge transfer.
I believe it's different experiences, right? Like when you're super busy, you kind of need to find ways to optimize your time. Everything makes sense. So, it must make sense. I think this is the benefit of that. But I think the repetition, because most of this optimization comes with repetition, comes with, so I don't know how much for how long you can actually hold without spillage, without leakage,
Yeah,
so
not that long, honestly.
on the other side, right? So if you have too much time available, it's the opposite of optimization, like like you
Make
you
bad
kind of-
decisions.
yeah, you make bad decisions. And so I think we should try to to see the opposite, to see where is the balance, like where's the balance between being super busy. For how long do I want to be busy? Do I want to be busy for the next 15, 20 years? Do I want to keep doing the same thing? I don't know. I'm building something. I'm building something. Right now, at this moment, at the ramp up, I accept the stress because I have to. But in the midterm, I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep growing to the point that I have to do this for the next 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, delegation could keep you from having to do it personally, and it just depends on the speed of growth. I've never been shy from stress. Like, I will run kind of head first. I know things will be stressful. More so lately is just finding the purpose and stuff. Like, finding... Stress doesn't even equate. It's just, like, trying to find the joy in each day and every day is something different. Just finding something to be appreciative of, and a lot of the times you find it, and then every now and then you don't, and you go, whatever. But I really, really don't have an answer right now. I'm like so caught up in my own head that I
One thing though, also
Don't
when
know.
we had like too much time, it was income. So we're not busy, we're not selling as much, or not selling enough.
not making money.
And then we were like stressed out, even though we had time, and then like trying to do actions like sales and stuff. But it's like any opportunity you would like just grab, and it would be like a bad opportunity,
yeah,
to grab, just because we are like chasing the income.
yeah, it's the wrong fucking direction.
Hunger.
So we were taking on jobs we
Yes.
shouldn't have been taking on, doing things
Starving,
personally
huh?
we didn't want to be doing, and like, why? Where did we end up here? It's like, 'cause it's a domino effect. If something didn't happen, and then you choose to do this, so then you keep following. It's like at some point you got to break that chain, break the cycle, and do something differently. Because that was not why we set up this business. Was to do personal labor and to all these things that became a crutch because there wasn't money there. It's like, realistically speaking, I should never be excited to go personally do an install of anything. But I was. It's like, I need the fucking money.
Yeah.
And so,
And even that, like,
Yeah.
hey, it's still, we're doing that, but the business can still not afford to pay us any extra for that install,
I'm a slave to
just
the business.
because. But then we're just like not having enough business,
Help.
and then now we have been busy, which is great. So it's the stress is like too busy, don't have time for anything. Like I was looking at my calendar, and I'm booked up for, until like for 2 weeks. People are booking appointments with me now in March. Like I just got today 3 appointments, one on the 2nd, one on the 3rd, and one on the 5th. So I'm getting appointments in March now because my
Booked out.
calendar does not show any availability in February, and today is the 11th.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks. I don't have time. Just because I live by my calendar. So
I think when you say that for your business, I try to compare to what I have, because I have to always plan 2 months ahead, because every player has their schedule for the tournaments for the next 2 months. So I have to plan 2 months ahead. And then there's Carnival in Brazil now. Like, it seems like everybody stops working on Friday. They just get back on Wednesday. It's like 5 days. It's there.
Oh,
The
yeah,
same
it's
time
a
you have
party.
for it's the same thing for Thanksgiving, like the whole
like the whole-
5-6 days or whatever. So I gotta plan 2 months ahead, and then I have a trip by the end of March, so I know I have, because if I don't do that, these kids are playing in Peru and they're playing everywhere, right? So instead of like they're playing everywhere, so they don't have internet. It won't work.
Yes.
So you have to anticipate so many things, and they are teenagers, So I don't compare that. I compare you having your clients in March to me having to plan until June. That's what I would say. I would have to
Yeah.
be booking, because I have to book. I have to be booked to the end of March. I have to book to the end of March. Somehow. Yeah, probably to the end of March. So, but it's different, the
yeah,
situation.
yours. I mean, for example, the way I schedule things, because Dylan, he keeps his calendar open because I'm doing a lot of meetings with potential customers, potential referral partners, like networking meetings. So I'm doing all that. And like, for example, on this Friday, I have a meeting that the guy is like, hey, Hilton, you have no availability this month, and I need to talk to you and talk to my production manager. And he's a builder. So I'm go like, okay. So I have 11 a.m. on Friday, but I need to leave at 12 because that is Valentine's Day at school.
or I have March 5th. You know?
Because and then I go like the first meeting with the person. Normally I go if it is like a relationship build kind of meeting, and then after that I just send Dylan because and then he keeps his calendar open for all like to pick up because now it's not like relationship building anymore. I did that, so now he goes like okay, so we're gonna look at a project, and then he goes in, he measures, and then he brings samples, whatever. He's doing sales activity. And it's counterproductive if he's doing relationship building. And I do the relationship building, and then he's doing sales. Do you know what I mean? So like I do marketing, he does sales. And it's interconnected. But I don't waste his time for relationship building because that's marketing activity. So, and that's why I'm booked up because I have to be because I'm doing marketing.
Some days I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. It's just whatever the day asks me to do.
Today he did like 9 quotes.
Well, you gotta prioritize that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I think
It's been good.
it's good. I mean, it is stressful in the end of the day because it's a lot of things to do.
That's what you asked
And
for, though. You know?
yeah, and I was like already like on 4 o'clock, and I was like, I'm so ready to go to sleep right now.
Yeah.
So I was ready to rest.
Because it's not only the hours, it's how dense each hour is. You
Yeah.
know, like it's what you know, it's not what you're solving at the time, only what you're solving at the time, but it's the whole worriness about what you still have to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they always say, like, time flies when you're having fun. I really feel like time flies when you're busy. It doesn't mean you're having fun, but you're busy. You know, it's like I looked down today and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, how the hell is it 2 p.m.? Last time I looked, it was like 10:30. So you just end up getting busy, and then you go,
And
then
that's
you
when
get a little
I
more
arrived.
stressed. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I have these things more to do, and I got to try and get it done. It's like sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time to do all the things, but I do have enough time. It's just the time management and then scheduling it and organizing it. So if anything, like, pat my own back today, I did a great job of organizing my time of how to get it all done, and I got it all done. But it wasn't like, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. It just was stressful, which we ask for, and I'm okay with it. It's just, man, it's one of those days where at the end of it, you're you're tired. You're like, man,
Yeah.
did a lot today.
Do you know when I know that my day is going too fast? I work with 3, sometimes 4 different time zones, and I really get lost because it's so many times. Like, you got like 5 minutes to do this, and that, and then you got all this, all these clocks, with different hours, different times, different zones, and
Yep.
you have to deal that all the time. It keeps you sharp, but it just adds another layer to the stress. All right.
Yeah.
It does.
I arrived today here at the office at 2 o'clock and then Dylan looked up like, geez, it's already 2 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
and then I was looking at my calendar, and then Maria was like, will I see you tomorrow? And I look at my calendar, I was like, I have that meeting, and then half an hour later that meeting, half an hour later that meeting, and then 2 meetings. I'll be in a car park on a internet meeting, like a Zoom meeting kind of thing, and then just stay like for half an hour on that meeting because that's my time that's necessary there for one portion of the discussion. And then I go to the other meeting, and then half an hour later I have another meeting, and then I have a gap of 1 hour to the final meeting of the day.
God.
So I will have half hour, but then do I drive here and then drive to the other meeting? No, I'm just gonna drive directly there and work on my cell phone. Do whatever, respond emails and stuff.
Yep.
So no, tomorrow I won't be coming here. Maybe even Friday also, because I was looking. I have a 9 a.m. at the Domain, and an 11 o'clock in Georgetown, and then 12:30 there is Valentine's Day at school. that I gotta be at. So depending how the Valentine's Day goes, and then I can come over here, to close out, because Dylan's gonna probably be leaving a little earlier on Friday. It has been like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it's been like. So it's a go with the flow kind of thing, But life's good.
Life is good. So, man, we had fun together. Watching the Super Bowl. Didn't even see you leaving, man.
You didn't? I thought I
No.
hugged everybody and said
Yeah.
bye. You didn't? I didn't say. I thought I did.
I might be in the restroom or something.
Oh, sorry.
It's good. No, I'm just a...
We actually ended up having to drive all the way back over there. Sam left her phone, so we had to go all the way back. Everyone had already left by the time we got there.
Oh.
And then drove all the way back to Leander.
Which cigar is this one?
Diesel Wicked.
Wicked?
Mm-hmm.
He's so wicked.
Wicked. Totally wicked, dude. From Finding Nemo, the little turtle.
Cigar. Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Oh, the cigar?
Nice.
What did you guys think of this Super Bowl? I think it was kind of boring, for the first half.
Honestly,
There was nothing going on.
I didn't watch much of the game, and y'all know me. Like, I'm real into the game usually, but I kept trying to get into it, and then the conversations I was having was just better. Nothing was keeping me into the game. I didn't end up watching the commercial. I didn't end up watching the halftime show. I was outside. When the third quarter started, I watched a little bit of it, and then it was just going a course where it wasn't even competitive, and it seemed like the game was already over. We're like, I think we're got to work tomorrow. Well, I think we're going to hit the old dusty trail. Like I actually, the game, I liked the party. That was awesome. The game itself, in my personal opinion, lackluster. Didn't really.
I even asked Conrad about that because I asked him, like, how did you feel this time and how did you feel 12 years ago when Seattle, oh man, it's just out of college, so it's a different spirit. I think it's also who we are watching.
Yeah.
Because for me, obviously, it's being with you guys and watching the game, and enjoying the whole America shebang, it's been part of that. Okay. Only on my ear. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, stop.
You lost your. Try this one.
Okay.
That's
Was
weird.
Madness. Chaos. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
You back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where was
I'm
I?
glad they don't have extra.
Yeah. Where was
No
I?
kidding.
It was just just the
Felt like
whole
the
American.
American,
shebang,
yeah.
It's nice to be there. It's the period of the year. The stories and seeing father, son, and grandfather watching the same, football. It was nice to see that happening. So I'm more like examining the social, and the social event in there. But the game, one thing struck me was, correct me if I'm mistaken, but the 4 first points, so it was 12 new, right?
Yeah, it was all
They-
field goals. I
All
believe.
field goals. Have you seen like this before in the finals? Like this 4 in a row?
Possibly. Not that I can remember off the top of my head, though. But nah, usually no. It was just a weird, slow start.
And why would a team not score, attack like 4 or 5 times, maybe not scoring, the other one attacking all this times and not growing, you know what I'm saying? Like not having a touchdown like after so many attacks.
Dude, I think people, you watch it in the end of the regular season and playoffs where people were just very aggressive on 4th down and going for it instead of kicking the field goal. And like at the end of the game, like those points mattered. So I think in the Super Bowl, it's your last game of the year, I think they try to prioritize points. At least Mike McDonald with Seattle did. But the Patriots were never pushing the ball far enough to even kick a field goal at the beginning. So it's like it wasn't
Exactly.
So it's like that was the edge. If you can get enough points, if you can get enough on the field to kick the field goal, take the
It
points.
was a
'cause
very
your
defensive game. It was
defense
more
is stopping
defense than offense.
Um,
The offense could just not move either side.
yeah. And then I guess late in the fourth quarter they had a pick six for Seattle, and so it's like when you look at the final score, I don't think it really tells the story of the actual game.
No.
You know.
Exactly. Like if you only watch the numbers and check the statistics, you're gonna miss what happened in the game.
Yeah.
I felt that. I thought it got to a point that I asked Cora, "Do you think they are not going to score the whole game? Has it happened before in the Super Bowl? Like 0?"
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because
It's
it's
like a shutout in the Super Bowl.
it's exactly. It sounded like it looked like that would happen in that game, but then they scored right. I think
They did.
yeah.
I think they. But they're. I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking there's a chance that they weren't going to score.
It was 12-0.
Yeah, 12-0,
Yep.
and then it was
No team has ever been shut out in Super Bowl history.
yeah. That's why I was asking like about that. Like wow,
Yep. No team's ever not scored a point
wow.
in the Super Bowl, at least.
It was close.
It was
It
close.
was close.
It was close.
Well, there was still a lot of game to go at that point, because there was still like 2 quarters to go.
It was close for us because we stopped watching.
Yeah, it's just like we got bored.
I did genuinely get bored. Yeah. I also wasn't sitting on the couch watching the game completely. I think if I would have been, maybe I would have found things to keep me in it. Just defense being good is still nice. It's just I literally was not sitting on the couch watching the TV, so I was walking around talking to people, and there's nothing that kept bringing me back to the game. Oh, it's a 5-point game. They scored again. Now they're up by 2. The other team scored. There was none of that, so there just wasn't anything keeping me invested. But it was a good time. It's always a good time. But
for Seahawks fans.
for Seahawk fans, and then of course the whole
Yeah.
halftime show debacle.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it even, so I don't even know.
I understand. We are outside.
I would have.
we're
Yeah,
out.
I was outside. I was talking, so I didn't think
Yeah.
much of it. I was gonna watch it, but
I don't crave more like the way I did before, like in the World Cup, like Olympics, openings and stuff. I mean, it's great if I watch it. I've seen so many.
right.
There's always. I'm not saying I have seen everything. I'm just saying that. Like it's okay if I miss it. Especially like the conversation out there was super good. Yeah, let me interrupt this conversation. I'm gonna go there and watch it. I can always watch at home, without all the bias later. Think about it, if I watch it in 3 years, I don't know if I'm gonna be as biased watching it as I am now.
Right.
Like you lose the kind of a zeitgeist of the situation,
Yeah.
which is the thing that happened. Like people went crazy. People went ape shit on X, Twitter, whatever you prefer to call it. But it's crazy. The things both sides are. You can see clearly, like in colors now. The first 3 lines, you already know where the person is going. I don't know. I think most people are kind of giving up some social media, because of that. If they don't change that,
I didn't
They're
even pay
gonna
attention
suffer.
to that. I was just like, I don't care what's going on, to be honest. We went outside, smoked a cigar, and had a conversation. And then...
Before you knew it, the halftime show was over.
And then I was just like peeking on the TV, because then the game had started again. I was peeking on the TV to see, and then I saw a touchdown. And then I saw another touchdown, like, both teams. And I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I think the game's going to end the way it is now.
but there's there is one thing here that we got to put in perspective too. It's timing. We said, we're gonna smoke a cigar
Yeah.
in the break. So you go outside. So the cigar is so good. Did you smoke Which one did you smoke?
I smoked the one that I had. I didn't smoke the one you gave me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm saving that one.
All right. Right, for the right moment,
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm saving that one. He gave me a Cuban cigar, so I'm saving that one.
Smart.
Yeah, and then no, I smoked another one that Hector had bought for me here during the event, and then it's like, no, I wanna buy you a cigar, and then Dowdy was like, get this one, and so I know that you don't normally go for these type of cigars, but I think you're gonna enjoy this one, and actually it was very good. So I think you'd love that cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I liked it.
I had my father, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Still fantastic option. It's still there, you know.
Cannot go wrong.
And I can tell that it was only just to 2 or 3 boxes, you know, the humidor. Now they're occupying the whole thing in there, like 5, 6 different types and sizes. So I heard that my father, you can find it in New York, in many different states now. So everybody's selling, even in the menus. You know. So it seems like
Oh,
I'm happy,
It's a
yeah.
pretty good cigar. Come on,
Yeah.
that cigar is awesome.
how you get to, you know, to the main market. That's what I'm saying, like the mainstream. You know, so they got there.
Yeah.
It's good to know a cigar that you like it and enjoy it, and then it becomes mainstream. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be good, but
I was
it's good,
gifted.
good for them.
Look, I was gifted these today. I'm gonna show.
I got a beat.
Ooh,
I was gifted these Vega Fina from the Dominican Republic.
wow!
They're like small cigars, and they come in tubes. But
Is
they're
it
like
closed?
they're
Is it
small.
closed?
I opened it to see.
All right. Wanna
It
see
has
it.
a little nail here.
Yeah, boxes, top notch, man. Okay, it gets a tube. It gets a tube.
Yeah, it has a little tube.
Yeah.
I think this is like a 30 minutes, 35 minute cigar kind of thing. It smells really good, and I think you do enjoy that cigar.
Yeah, definitely. Can tell it's
and
light,
I think
lighter.
Conrad will enjoy that cigar.
Beautiful. It
And
was
I don't think that I
was that a
will
gift?
not like it. Yeah, I will like it also because the smell is awesome.
Was that a gift?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Good friends you have, man.
Yeah, a friend of mine, you know, we share a lot of referrals in business.
All right.
And then she showed up today like, hey, don't show anybody.
Tien
Because,
perles tubos. Yeah.
yeah. She bought at the airport coming back from Colombia. But it is made in Dominican Republic by Tabacalera de Garcia.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Beautiful.
I am
tiny.
going to enjoy these.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably on coffee, like mornings. I think it would be awesome.
Cool. And yeah. You know, man, having a small one like this, you know, sometimes you don't have 90 minutes, 2 hours. Just want to sit there, have a conversation
Exactly.
in half an hour,
Yeah.
done.
The
And you
other
keep
day-
the quality.
It was a Friday, it was like last Friday, and then Dylan was like, oh, let's go to the warehouse, and then instead of smoking here in the office, like, let's go to the warehouse and smoke a cigar. And it's like, do we have anything small? And then we don't. Now we do. Now we do.
That's
now
right.
we do have a small cigar.
We only have big ones here.
Formula One starting up.
Oh yeah. Have you watched anything about it? Like
I
about the cars,
haven't.
about the how bigger, longer, faster they are, and everything.
Hey, hold on. First, we gotta talk about the memes that are coming out. Lewis Hamilton watching the Super Bowl.
Oh, like in Beyonce's position. Yeah.
Who did he have next to him? Like
Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Oh, it's
And
Kim
then
Kardashian.
the memes are like FIA is investigating Lewis Hamilton, not
Ignoring red flags.
ignoring
Red
the
flag.
red flags.
Yes.
There's one. I think it was either. I think it might be like from Drive to Survive, but it's Leclerc talking to Hamilton when they're in like a a car going somewhere, and he's like, "We are the Kardashians of Formula One." And so it's
This
like,
is
oh,
absolutely
This Drive to
True.
Survive already out?
shit. No, but for last year's.
Okay.
man. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it right when it came out for last year, but I don't know when this one comes out. Soon, it would have to be soon because the season's going to be starting.
It would
in-
have to be before the season.
Yeah, every time it is.
Yeah.
So it's like a week or two before the season starts usually. But that'll probably get me back into it. I've just been a little bit out of it, and I know that the cars are changing and there's all these whatever. But last year, I think I got so into like the shakedown and the practices, and you start getting like preconceived notions of what you think the season's going to be, and it's all a facade.
Yeah,
So,
it
I mean,
is.
it's cool to watch if you're into it, but I really get into it week one when the first race hits. That's when I'm like, okay, let's start.
Yeah, the qualifying, not even the first day, it's like really Saturday morning, the qualifying. That's when you really understand where the car and
I think-
where the teams are.
There's so much misdirection on
Especially
the radio.
now, right? Especially now, with all the changes.
Yeah, it'll be fresh for everybody to
Yeah.
figure out where we're at. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And then because of the regulation changes, like you can't just assume McLaren will be on top because they were on top last year. You can't just assume Red Bull is going to be right. You don't know. We don't know. I mean, you can assume the top 5 are going to
Well,
be in the top 5, but I don't know who's going to be at the top.
You can assume that Aston Martin would have a good car because they have Andrew Newey.
Yeah,
But even that,
you don't know.
you never know.
Yeah,
Because what engine they're going to be running? I don't know.
Man,
Mercedes. Or?
It is crazy because I just watched 1 or 2 videos and then they are like doing 120 laps.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
Lewis
you know,
Hamilton
in
that
the
was on
same
day like
day.
180 laps.
Exactly. Like it's crazy.
He said he'd never felt less grip in his entire life during that session. So I don't know, whatever the car feels like to him, it doesn't feel planted.
Grippy.
or
But
grippy.
you see that? You see how professional it needs to be. Like at this moment, you see like, oh, I don't know, the first one I think was Williams, I think, or I don't know, Mercedes like 565 laps in 4 days.
Yeah, in 4 days. Yeah.
So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Williams did not do the shakedown. They're gonna be doing in Bahrain, or they are doing now in Bahrain. I don't know. I mean, they decided to do on the second.
Round.
So they did not go on the first.
Okay.
Which is like Barcelona or something, right?
Yeah, they did not go to Barcelona. The reason is probably they needed a little bit more time to get the car ready.
Cause it's Chaz, man. Because you know, like
Building a new
everyone
car
is
every year.
bringing new things. Every time your car is, it's in the race, somebody's analyzing, examining, and knowing everything you're doing and implementing, in their cars.
I saw a it was like a short on YouTube that somebody made kind of explaining the ingenuity behind certain things, and it was like McLaren made, I don't know if it was the front wing or the rear wing. Did you see that? Where it was like the FIA has a rule in place that it has to be able to withstand a certain amount of pound force, but the way they do the test is with a certain thing that pulls on it or whatever. So they designed it with carbon fiber or whatever, so that when done that way on the test, it works. But when it's operating the car and it has airflow running through it, it becomes moldable and movable, and it could flex and move the way they want it to. But when it's the test, it does what the FIA said, and it was like, it's legal.
Yeah, like
It's
Next year we'll outlaw it. Next year's a new regulation change. It's like
Oh,
there's
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
you can
for
fucking do
sure.
about it. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure they're gonna change the way
playing
they
with
test.
fire.
And it's
Playing
like-
with fire, right?
You almost can't get mad at that. That's just
Can't,
genius.
don't touch. Not
Like,
touching.
you said the
Yeah,
rule says
not
this,
touching. Yeah, exactly.
and they're like, that is the way we wrote that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You motherfucker. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Loopholes.
I watched. That's what they consider like loopholes. I watched one loophole on the engine, like the piston. Now instead of just getting a block of metal and then carving into the piston, they are 3D printing the piston. So therefore, they can control. So there are air gaps inside of the metal that before it could not be carved
Right.
because you'd create like a puncture of the
There's
metal.
no way to mill it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now with the 3D printing, so they can have the same volume that is agreed upon, and then when
But
they do
lighter
the
weight
test,
and air pocket.
yeah. But then when they do the test, they do the test with a certain temperature of the engine. But when you are like racing, and at a very the test is done with the engine off because it's measurements
Right.
of the chamber of like the piston, right?
Yeah,
so
just like
how much
the-
down the piston goes, and that's your cubic centimeters kind of thing,
Right.
or millimeters. And then as the piston goes up, you have a certain distance, which is what creates the pressure for the explosion to
And they're
happen.
measuring that distance when the engine's off.
Yeah, also the size, right? So the cubic,
So
size.
what happens when metal heats?
Exactly. Everything expands. So
Makes a bigger
it's
chamber.
and then some engines are more powerful than others because they
Like a larger cavity for the
they are creating a
Combustion.
different
like,
volume
combustion chamber or
inside
whatever.
because of the
That's just big brain stuff.
so like the block having more metal, because if there is more metal, there's more expansion.
Correct.
The piston having less metal, so less expansion. So you have a bigger combustion chamber.
Yeah.
So that way you get more
They're
power.
creating more power.
So it's loopholes of the rules, because the rules is like it's tested by volume.
But and exactly the idea of adding that rule is to keep people from doing that. But you wrote the rule this way, so it's like now you got to rewrite what you're testing. It's like
But you cannot.
that's how everything.
You can.
happens.
This is all like theoretical things, because you cannot test the volume with the engine running, because the way to do the test, and I remember because we did that in karting, and it was like position the engine to a certain point, pour liquid inside, and then see how much liquid goes inside
Okay.
up to the top, and then you change the engine so the piston goes up, and then you measure again, and you'll see how much in liquid it went in that one. So if, for example, if you have like the top, if you shave it, you have like a more compressed kind of thing. So everything, you test that on a karting. It is what it is, right? But in Formula One, they have the budget, so they are printing the engine block. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like
They work hard.
it
for
just
the
made me
money.
look this up. Like, what are some 15 real Texas laws that you won't believe? Right.
Oh, sure. So, okay,
Okay,
we're
so-
about to be
let's put the web
pivoting
in.
from laws, like loopholes, laws, to the ones on Texas. Okay.
And so I'll connect the dots here on what made me think of this in the first place. But so no concealed carry of wire cutters, no eating your neighbor's garbage, marriage via proclamation. You need a permit required to walk barefoot. In some cities, you're required to purchase a $5 permit before walking around barefoot. Spittoons required in certain cities. No, this is the one I was going to mention. I've always read this or remembered it as you can't shoot a buffalo from a hotel balcony. But this is just any balcony. I always thought of it as a
Specific.
hotel. And so what made me think about it is for them to write these laws, someone did this.
It's
For it to be such a weird,
it
outlandish
sounds like
law,
a revenge, or like
it's addressing
beef,
something
you know?
that was done. So it's like, hey,
Look
you
at the
found-
number 7 there.
Your horse needs taillights. Tell
We-
Paul
we-
Briggs.
We gotta tell Paul Briggs that one.
But it's like you're required to have windshield wipers, but not necessarily a windshield.
Oh yeah, because if you're driving like on one of those jeeps that you can put the windshield down,
But it's a state requirement to have the wipers.
the wipers. Yeah.
For what windshields? It's like just stupid little things, but it's because something happened to make them put that law into place. The same with
Yeah.
the FIA. It's like you found these loopholes, so the next year, it's like, well, now I'm going to have to specifically say you can't do this. And it's so specific, it sounds crazy, but it's because someone did that, And so now they got to get even more specific.
They will have to be very specific. Very
this is
specific.
what happened when there's no
Look at number 12.
logical behavior.
No, you cannot fart in an elevator. No,
That's where I'm from, guys. Port Arthur, Texas. That's where I'm from.
My goodness.
It's like right by Beaumont.
You cannot
Harder.
fart. You cannot fart
It's
in an
illegal
elevator.
to quote unquote emit obnoxious odors.
In the elevator.
Can't
So
burp.
okay, all right. So you can. What if there's no odor? It's like thunderous, but no odor in that. Is it okay?
I think there's too much that's in the hands of the law, right? That's a police officer's discretion.
Yes, like it was only noise, zero odor. How about that?
Or it's like it's a silent but deadly, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who? I didn't
Who
see
did
it.
that?
Who
Oh
did
my
that?
god! Yeah, who did it? You know, like,
Trying to-
there's a show about that. You know, like who farted in the elevator.
That reminds me of one
who
of
did it? You know, who
the
did it? You know, like in the British version.
like who done it?
Who done it? Who done it? Who done it? Who done it? Yeah. Who done it? Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Super silly and immature. One of my favorite like stand-up jokes is from a guy named Nick Swartzen, and he's like, guys, just so you know, I'm a happy person. I've always been a happy person. I probably always will be a happy person, and I would never kill myself. Just I wouldn't do it. But if I did, this is how.
Oops.
Okay.
I would go to an extremely populated airport. And I'd walk in before you have to check luggage and stuff, before you get wanded and security and all that, and I'd find the most populated area I could find. And I would scream at the top of my lungs. I'd find a guy, who fucking farted? And I'd blow my brains out. Now everybody is going to be in a frenzy. They don't know how to process what the fuck just happened.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, who farted? Was it so bad that this guy really just killed himself? Like just goes into a tangent like this whole thing.
20 people in the airport
Comedy,
feel
man.
like that, you know?
I'm like, what? It's just a
These
stupid
comedians-
concept, but it's so funny.
my goodness.
Comedy is so good.
Who fucking farted? Boom! I don't even know how to process what just happened. Somebody farted and he killed himself. It's third grade, but it just the way, obviously, I can't deliver it the same way, but the way he delivered it the first time I ever heard that joke, I was like, oh my God, that is just,
What's 14
that
in
is
there?
fucking mint. Like, that is just such a good one, you know? And it's so stupid. But
What is 14th in there?
it's against the law for kids to have unusual haircuts.
What?
Oh, in Brazil it would be a problem then because remember Ronaldo, Phenomenal,
My goodness.
when he had that
The little front patch?
little front patch,
Neymar's hair too, you
and
know? Like,
every kid,
They got that
they did that.
trendsetter.
yeah, it was kind of a homage to one of the very famous comics for children in Brazil. Remember, Cascão the Dirty, like this boy. So it was kind of an association with that. You know, do you remember that they associate all the
Yes,
time?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So how about in North Korea, you can only have like 4 haircuts and that's it.
Your whole life?
No, like the whole
There's only
population.
4 different.
Yeah, the
types
whole
of haircuts,
population
yeah.
can only have 4 different kinds of hair because those are the preferable
I mean,
haircuts from the emperor. I don't know how to call it. Emperor, owner. I don't know what he is from the place, and also
Beauty and simplicity. It's
right.
one last
When
thing
you
to
don't
think
have the
about, you know?
resources, why not?
I'm doing my people a favor. Okay. They don't have to think about it.
Yes,
Helping them.
exactly. Benevolent God.
They wouldn't allow me to have this flow in North Korea, I guess, huh?
Oh no.
No.
I have a different hairstyle every week lately, so really figuring myself out.
I think Lily took a little while to recognize you.
Yeah, she was like giving me the cold shoulder there for a second. She was like, "Huh?" I don't know if she just didn't recognize me or she was just doing her own thing. And I was bothering her maybe, but I don't know. Maybe she just didn't recognize me. I've been getting that a lot lately. People don't recognize me, and it's caught me off guard. And
Well, that's the power of wearing glasses, like Clark Kent.
Clark Kent, yeah.
and Superman.
that's a meme, but I guess it is true because the amount of people that are like, "Dylan."
Like yes.
I don't need. If I'm a superhero, I just get a different haircut.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
have to do anything.
No, a hairstyle. You put like a gel or something, and you do one different.
And some glasses.
yeah,
Like
you
toothache.
comb a different
still
way,
need
and that's
him.
it. You know.
That's all it takes. That's funny.
I remember my hair was probably about the length of yours, and then it was just like in my eye, and I think it was COVID, so there was no people cutting hair. All the barber shops are like closed and stuff. So one day I was like, I just got some wax, and then I just did what I do, but imagine it was
Tall.
about that tall,
Yeah.
that big. I walk in and to see a general contractor. Now she's a builder. And then she was like, who is that? And then I started talking to her. And then she was like, oh, Hilton.
She didn't know. That's hilarious.
She did not recognize. Probably also had, I let the
A little beard.
my beard grow and stuff. And then probably, I was very different, with the hair like spiked up, but like that tall.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does catch people off guard a little bit. Like Wes, he he shaved and he just left a mustache because he did that fiddler in the roof.
Yeah.
Like he did. Yeah, he had like a part. He wasn't like the main actor or something. He was like
Extra or something.
an extra. Yes, that's the word, extra. And so because of the character, because like Germans and whatnot or Russians, I don't know what that is about. But so he did that, you know, to have more the stereotype of, you know,
Whatever his
the
part was.
play.
Yeah.
And so when I saw him on the pictures, like he looks so different. Almost looks like he has been doing his eyelashes.
Oh, really? Because they're more noticeable?
Because everything it's so not there.
You look at other stuff.
And then you look at the other things like,
That's interesting.
is he doing makeups on his eyes? And like almost like, you know, whatever women do, you know, to get like more accent on the eyelashes and stuff, to thicken it and then, you know.
Yeah, the mascara.
Yeah. And I was like, he looks so different. You know, it's like, I know that's him, but it does look different, you know.
Yeah.
It weirded me out a little bit, you know.
That's funny. There's a big difference, you know.
Where's
Yeah.
the 15th there?
A 150-year-old law that wreaks havoc today. While many of these laws are mostly harmless, they're outdated laws that cause a great deal of harm because they're outdated. For instance, the Limited Liability Act of 1851 was originally written for a maritime industry that lacked weather forecast technology or satellite communication. It was written so that maritime companies couldn't be sued for more than the cost of a ship if they suffered a disaster at sea. Today, that same law is used to rob maritime workers of their right to recovery after their employers sail them into hurricanes or leave them stranded in life-threatening conditions. It's a law that no longer applies, but still gets used by some of the largest maritime companies in existence.
Whoops.
You'll see.
The power of a dollar. Everybody's going to do whatever's in their best interest, always. So,
Yep.
got to know that. Anybody been watching the Winter Olympics?
I've not watched it.
I looked for it to see if I could watch yesterday after I woke up. Because I fell asleep and then after I woke up. And I did not find it. I was like, and also I did not search on the internet to try and find which channel was showing that. So
Do you have cable?
I'll have to see if I could find.
yeah, I got a system. That thing is
Okay.
I don't know if we can show this or not. I saw something on X earlier. It was a meme. I don't know if we'll be able to find the same thing or not. But this is the context. But it's like this guy is running uphill on skis in like cross-country winter skis. Runs a sub 6-minute mile uphill on skis.
okay.
This guy's like, I'm watching this while I'm driving through Dairy Queen, ordering my Reese's Blizzard with extra Reese's, by the way.
Is that his speed in there at 10.5 miles per hour?
I can't even make it through the drive-through in 6 minutes. This
Yeah.
motherfucker's running uphill in skis.
I know.
16.9 kilometers an hour, which is like what, 10 miles an hour?
10.5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
10 miles an hour.
Geared up on snow, uphill.
Yeah, it's said there, right?
My fat ass
10.5
can't even
miles per hour.
can't fathom that. That's crazy. So
We cannot do that downhill.
on skis.
That's like 16 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, almost 17. Yeah, it's incredible.
16. Yeah.
So I take it back. These people are extreme athletes.
They are.
I was giving them shit, but they're extreme athletes.
You know, after you see something like that, you're like, oh hell.
I respect it.
When is the first race? Do you know?
I do not know. You'd have to Google that, but it's coming up probably
So how is it gonna be this year? What we gonna?
I think it's March.
How do we want to watch it?
It's usually first weekend of March or second week. Oh wow! Whoa,
When is that?
Because it's 24.
guys.
Guys and gals.
I didn't know this. No, hold on. Circuit of the Americas food event. There's something coming up there. Foodie Land. I didn't know these were connected. I'm a big foodie, and a lot of the time Sam will take me to, around my birthday, we'll do like food tours and go see stuff. She bought tickets to Foodie Land at the Circuit of America, and it starts, this was last year, 2025, but we bought tickets. It's for the weekend of March 7th, and I know that because I was going to invite my fraternity brothers. His birthday's March 5th, mine's the 25th, and I was just going to see if it worked out. Coincidentally, if that's when it starts, it's saying the first weekend is the Australian GP, March 7th. So I wonder if they're going to show it at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, but the Australian GP is at night over here.
It's 10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they'll. That's what I was getting. I don't know if they'll be open.
Late food.
Maybe, because they'll have like probably food
late
trucks,
event.
and so I don't know how late the event is. But I wonder if it is that late, if they'll show part of the race there.
They shouldn't pass that up, right? Because it's a
That
great
being said, that'd be like
opportunity.
Saturday night qualifying, but it would
Yeah.
still be cool.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's the moment of the truth.
Yeah, this is like more important
imagine-
than the last 3 seasons
Imagine if Cadillac is like a
on podium or something.
or even not even
just
that,
in
like
qualifying?
you get qualifying, have like really good pace.
They're better than Williams, better than
Maybe not as fast paced on a racing level, but on a qualifying level with a lighter car. Imagine that would be like the most successful debut probably.
or the team that
Has any team started with so much? Has any team started with as much as they are starting right now, like knowledge and? Because I know that they are behind because they couldn't use the car because of their two-year
Yeah,
rule and
yeah.
everything. Everybody has done that, but I think they get with better chances than other teams, even
Probably.
strong ones.
I don't think it would happen, but it'd be a crazy storyline if they like outperform Aston Martin or something.
I think what they did, I mean, every single team, they do it this way beforehand. So it's like they develop the chassis. Well, Haas bought the chassis from one company and the engine from another.
Okay.
And
Are they still using Ferrari?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah,
not
Haas
sure.
Ferrari,
But
yeah.
so so that they would
Second
get the
team.
knowledge, like somebody that knows how to make the chassis and somebody that already has a good engine, right? So that way you get. So Cadillac is doing that also. They're not using Cadillac engines. They are gonna release their own engine. I think in 2028.
8. Didn't Red Bull move engines?
Yes, Red Bull is using their own engine now, so they're not with Honda anymore.
They're making their own.
Yeah,
Interesting. Is that going to go for both teams or just?
probably. I don't know. That's a good question. Normally, they do not. Well, historically, I don't know. I don't know. Last year it was like that, but historically they did not use the same engine. They had different engines for for the V carb and the.
I mean, Toro
Red Bull.
Rosso, Racing Bulls. They've had so many names.
They
throughout
had
the past.
Toro Rosso. It was like a Ferrari engine because Toro Rosso is a Italian manufacturer.
And then it was V carb last year, and before that was the Racing Bulls. I don't even know.
Yeah, we would need to research. I don't know. That's a good question. It's like the knowledge thing.
Hey, I'm curious.
So you normally will use an engine that's already being used because and then
It's
you don't
been
have to worry about that development. You just do the chassis development.
But everything is so new now. The changes are so big
proven. Yeah.
that they might, it's a chance for them to kind of break the wheels, and maybe innovate. I think that's.
He'll never be back, but I miss Daniel Ricciardo. I do.
Who's
Well, but
racing?
we have Perez back.
And
Yeah, that's what I would ask.
Bottas.
Right now,
Yeah,
Bottas,
and
yeah.
Valtteri Bottas.
Very experienced drivers.
Yeah.
Well, it opened up 2 new seats, so there you go.
I don't know. I think Valtteri Bottas is a good pick. Perez, not quite sure. But
Maybe he
brings,
just really struggled with the setup. I don't know.
Yeah, but he brings a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, he brings a lot of money to F1. So,
Why is that?
well,
He's just super big in Mexico.
it's-
He's got a lot of sponsorship.
and he's got
I
a
see,
lot
I see.
of
Yeah.
rich families that sponsor.
Yeah.
So he brings a lot of money to F1.
Yeah, you got to have a Mexican
I think for
driver.
F1 is great. For the F1 is great. You know, having somebody from Mexico. I'm not sure if he's already. I mean, this is going to be the comparison is going to be between the two of them, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody's expecting them to be the very last team, always occupying the last two positions on the
21st,
grid,
22nd position.
and the comparison is going to be between the two of them.
The two of them, yeah. We never know, though. I mean, that's the expectation, but
But he has more experience than Valtteri Bottas, and he has more wins and he has more points and everything. I'm not sure if he has more points.
I would imagine, though.
He won more, probably.
But actually, I guess that's not true. When Valtteri was with Mercedes for a while, so
Yeah,
I mean, he
but-
scored a lot of points.
Yeah, he did score a lot of points, but he had Lewis Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
And Perez not always had Verstappen.
Verstappen, yeah. He had...
So he had more wins and he had more second places, I think.
that'd be interesting.
I did not see it because I wasn't reading about it, but did Verstappen say anything at all? He's becoming a much better person in Formula One.
Yes.
I used to not like him, and I kind of like him now. I always
For the sport.
I was always
he's kind of a pro sport, Like
but I was always
Yeah.
like a little bit into like not bad mouthing, but like I don't like the guy. He uses tactics that I don't agree with because like almost like anti,
hero.
yeah. But the commitment that he puts in, it's an example
Yeah.
to everyone that joins Formula One and everyone that drives. So
A lot of people don't necessarily appreciate it, but it's like, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying kind of mentality. And so he was definitely, it means everything to him, and he's going to do whatever he can to win. Sometimes it's very frustrating for people to see, but if you're a Max Verstappen fan, you probably love that about him.
oh yeah,
Very competitive. And I think you need a guy like him, like a lot of kids want to watch it because of him, or you don't want to see him winning. So you attract millions of people because of this, personality like that,
Yeah, it's like,
larger than life, like Ayrton Senna.
but yeah, he
Hamilton.
drove. Yeah, he was in comparison. He's very similar to Senna and Hamilton because he always drive more than the car. Like almost like the car can give you a certain amount of speed and time on the track, and he beats that. And Hamilton was the same way.
he just pushes it past its limits.
Yeah, and Senna was the same way. He's like always like impressive. Like nobody could understand how can you put a lap
I bet
like
he's
that?
loving it.
It's like Hamilton. He used
All
to
the
have the
havoc.
hammer time.
Yes.
It was like, how can he perform those 3 laps before stopping to change tires?
Yes. Yeah,
Like that nobody can do. That's what was very impressive about
right?
him.
The feel.
Yeah, he's
the
just
eye test.
tapped into a higher feeling and understanding of that car
Yeah.
that he trusts more than someone else will trust.
With a tire that is already used, right? Because it has been used for so many laps, and then he would go like and perform better than when he just put the brand new tires on.
Like, I'm going to finish this race with, I'm missing a tire.
Yes.
I have enough of a gap to maybe finish and still get the win.
He almost won last year, man. Almost won. Yeah. You
Yeah,
watched it like the last 2 races at
That was
place?
probably the best storyline for Formula One in a while, where it's coming down to the last race to see who's going to take the championship.
And which is the opposite of the feeling we had at the Seahawks versus the Patriots.
Yeah,
right.
and the opposite of the feeling is the season before, where Verstappen was just leaps and bounds ahead of
Yeah.
everybody. So it's not that no one wants to see Verstappen win. It's just you get tired of seeing just utter dominance by one person. It doesn't feel like you're watching a sport anymore. It feels like you're watching one team figured something out. and there's everybody else.
Ultimately, we want competition. We want fierce competition. We want as much equality as possible. You know, like different styles, but we wanted to see 2-3 drivers.
And it's
or
a team
teams
effort.
Trying, yeah.
If you remember, Red Bull when they signed up with Honda, and McLaren, I think, had Honda for a little while. They could not make the engine perform. So Mercedes was just like dominating because nobody could make the Honda engine perform. And then Verstappen came in, and then McLaren changed to their own engine. And it was like now, and then Honda caught up, and it was actually one of the most powerful engines in the field, together with
Red Bull.
Aero package and Verstappen. Like he could do things that nobody could believe that the car was capable of. So
We have dominance, right? Like Ferrari, then Red Bull, then after that you have Mercedes. And then
was
now
there
you
some
have-
McLaren dominance ever?
yes, I mean in the
Or
90s.
Williams
yes.
way?
Yeah, Williams
long
was
time ago.
before in the 80s.
Yeah, and then McLaren with Alan Prost and
That's what I was
Ayrton,
saying. Ayrton Senna
and
yeah.
Nick Lauda also won once.
Yes.
With McLaren?
Yeah, McLaren. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I didn't know he's with
In
McLaren.
'85, I think.
Yeah, in the 80s, Ferrari started well that decade, but then it lost it.
They've never
Williams
really been
was-
back since
yeah.
then after Heikkinen or what's the guy who won? Oh, Michael Schumacher.
Yeah,
They haven't really been back on top since then, right?
Ferrari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they haven't.
they
won
have
since-
been top teams, but not first.
Not won the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they will always be top 5.
Yeah,
Top 4.
they
Aren't they the
got,
oldest team in Formula One?
Yeah, they got one of the.
I don't know.
To get the money. Yeah, they are the oldest. They were there on the first race, so they're 75 years, 76 this year.
Just pride. It's
Yeah.
pride.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
time also is a factor on how much money you get from the TV advertisements and whatnot. Like when you split the money up, throughout the on the teams,
Yeah.
they always get a little bit of a bigger portion because of the time that so the older teams always get more money.
Got you. That makes sense.
Well, it used to be like that. I don't know how it is now, but
It used to be like
it used
that.
to be like that. So they always had more money for development and whatnot. So
And how do you feel about the competitiveness? Because I've been watching since the '80s, right? So how do you feel? I don't want to compare eras, right? I'm just saying the level of competitiveness you have in the '80s versus now, like number of drivers, cars, and everything.
if you look Formula One from the get-go in 1950, there was always one driver dominating. Always.
Is there always a dominant car as well, or it could be just one
Fangio,
driver? Or
right?
Hard to say. Maybe a combination of the two.
Like, for example, when Senna was making the McLaren go, it was pretty much like Verstappen doing with Red Bull last year, for example. It's like the car cannot perform. Nobody that drives the second car can do anything. So Senna was making and winning races in 93, for example, 1993, with a car that was clearly
Berger?
maximum. Well,
Yes.
there were a few. There were a few.
No, in 1993.
Yeah, 93. I think 91 was an American driver. Forgot his name, Michael something. But nevertheless, it's like they're always being like that. Ferrari, Fangio. The second driver, it was like behind, 2 or 3, positions, maybe 4. So there has always
A
been
gap
like
between
something like that.
The top driver and the second driver.
Yeah.
I think Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton are pretty evenly matched, except obviously Leclerc outperformed him last year. But I'm thinking raw skill. I think Leclerc's a very talented driver. I think Hamilton is similar now just because of his age. Like maybe his reaction time isn't as fast as it used to be. I don't know. If we're talking prime to prime, of course Hamilton has
Oh, yeah.
an illustrious career, but I think Leclerc has a bright future ahead of him. He just
He's
has
30,
been
right?
so tied with Ferrari.
He's
But-
30.
Well, one
Is he
thing,
30?
Yeah, he's 30.
one thing that
He looks much younger.
I was gonna say he looks 26. You know.
one thing that Hamilton did, like it's experienced drivers do that, right? So he joins Ferrari. He
28.
he gives it like a
Right.
first lap, and then he goes
My
like
age.
he drives it like a first lap, and then he stops and then says, "What have you guys done to this car?" He doesn't respond, blah blah blah, and then
He feels the
at
machine.
that time, they found out that Ferrari had calibrated the car, like the steering, to be more, instead of having like one setup per driver, because drivers have different style. So they calibrated the steering in a way that would be a level playing field. So that would benefit, not benefit quite, one driver, and not benefit quite the other driver.
You adapt to the car basically,
Yes.
and if you can't, you can't.
Yes, and then so what he found was like, hey, you guys are doing something in here that is just stupid. I drive one way, he drives another way, so you gotta make it, that way. So it took a little while for them to actually perform better.
Listen to what he was saying.
Yes, and then
Why bring such a seasoned guy on if you're not going to listen to him?
exactly. So, but that's what an experienced driver, does
Brings to the
team.
table. Yeah.
Because they go like, no. I remember when Rubens Barrichello, the Brazilian guy, that he drove for Ferrari, and then the very first meeting that he went to see the wind tunnel for Williams, which is the team that he retired from after he raced. He said like, there is you guys have a wrong setup in here. So just by changing the setup, they changed completely the speed of the car, and then the car, instead of like being last in the grid, it was like 10, or 11 position.
Interesting. The American in me would love to see a Formula One car designed by all the teams together in Formula One. They all come together at all these components, and we decide 2026 calendar year, this is the Formula One car we're going to use. Even playing field. 22 pilots. Who's fucking fastest? I want to see a driver shine. Except Formula One shines on the engineers and all these other things that like true automotive people would love. And I love that. But the actual competitive sport of it, who's the best fucking driver? Put them
That's
all in the
exactly
exact
it.
same car. Who's going to put the fastest qualifying lap in? Let's line them up. Who can pass somebody? I wonder if that would be more or less boring. I don't know. It's like we talk about adding extra goals on a soccer field. Like it's a hypothetical, but I wonder what that would do to the sport.
It's
if
not
anything.
so hypothetical because I think there are some categories that do that, right? So
Yeah,
different
yeah.
cars, right? The cars are-
F3 is well. The thing is, F1 is like that.
It's like you like to see it with the top tier, like the best of
Yes.
the best of the best
Yes.
on an even playing field. Who is truly the best?
Right,
Because I
right.
think Verstappen right now is the best, but he's in a better car. What if he was in the same car? Would Hamilton outperform?
he
I love
wasn't.
to see
He
that.
wasn't on a better car.
2023.
Yeah.
Last year
Sure,
he wasn't.
yes.
2023 he was in a by far the best car that's ever performed in Formula
2024.
One. No one's ever scored that many points and been that dominant. 2025, different scenario. He outperformed his car, but so that maybe he would be the winner. I don't know. There's just something about that piques my interest to see like who can overcome the hurdles of the same fucking unit everyone's driving
So the
and
regulations.
take the most from it.
So that's the thing. The regulation is done by the engineers, right? And then the setup of the car itself. So like every single chassis is pretty much the same. The
But you can
wheels,
make it softer in the front or the back.
the wheels are the same, and then the only thing that actually is different. So like, of course, the engines are different, but they have the same specifications.
But ride height in the front versus the back.
And
brake,
exactly,
brake pressure.
the height and the width that you put the wheels, all of those things are the variables that the engineers will be doing the setup. Like for example,
I can appreciate that.
when I used to do karting, it was like that. So you have to buy the karting of, let's say, chassis of, like when I raced was 91, 92. So you'd have to have a kart that was like 89, 90, 91. So they're not very different from each other. Of course, if you have the money to buy a brand new cart, and then you probably have the newer chassis, it could potentially be a little bit better.
Maybe a fresher engine.
But everything was standard, exactly the same. The difference was how do you fine-tune the engine, the oil mix on the gasoline, and how wide you set up, how much pressure you put on tires, things like that.
I can respect and appreciate that because that's the ingenuity and that's the loophole and that's the edge and all of those things.
But that's what Formula One is right now.
And I can appreciate that. It's just, I don't know if you're familiar with the Deflate Gate, like during New England's run with Tom Brady. It's like they determined that they were underinflating the football. It made it easier for him to throw and easier for people to catch and whatever. But in the sport like the NFL, both teams, like you bring your own game ball and you do your own mudding and whatever, but at the end of the day, like it has to be to a certain standard. But for the most part, like the equipment you're using, the gloves, the pads, the cleats, it's an even playing field. It's just this guy's bigger, faster. This guy catches better. This guy tackles harder. It's like the person's the edge and the equipment is all the same. So there's just something that'd be interesting to see, like,
yeah, if it was only one team, like
anything.
Every single car is a Ferrari.
Yep, and it's all the same. And maybe if you want to change a little bit, like your steering aggressiveness and stuff, whatever, even that I think would be cool to say. No, it's all standard one fucking way.
You receive a car, you sit
drive
on,
the fucking
and
car.
then you drive.
And who's going to win? There's something about that that's like you have to overcome the challenges that the car is giving you. I find that intriguing.
Just in that, there are so many variables already.
There are, and you can
That's
manipulate. It's impossible to not have there be differences. But I like the idea of like a control variable.
So let's say
everyone else.
Let's say I'm a little shorter than you.
Yeah, I weigh 20 pounds more.
And then we are shorter than George. If we are given the same car, we will fit differently inside of the cockpit.
So you're gonna have to adjust where the pedals.
We have to adjust. There are things that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like.
I can accept customization of seats and where you're fitting the wheel. I don't want to accept adjustments in what the car's performing at different speeds and the way you like. That's where I'm like, no, we're gonna make you custom fit in this car, but the suspension across everybody's the same. The tires across everybody. No, and actually, that's another variable. What tires are you gonna fucking run? And I think leave that the same. You want to run soft, hard?
Well, but it is. Today it is the same. They give 3 options, and then you can choose and pick.
But there's strategy on how to do it, and I think leave that as a variable. Strategy is strategy. But the car, if it were the same, to me, is just like, that's the American in me, I guess. Is like, I didn't grow up watching Formula One, and I like it just the way it is. It doesn't have to change. But there's something about that piques my interest. Like,
but Dylan, the Formula One changed to be like that because now every single car has the same. It's just
it's not.
Well, it's not. It's produced by different factories, but it's the same specification.
But everybody has to make their own car every year, and there's guidelines and whatever. And then when they come to play, you start seeing like the front wing's slightly different, and this plays differently. And they're all subtle changes. But when you're going 180 miles an hour, all of a sudden these subtle changes make a fucking huge difference. And so it's like, to me, it would just be interesting to see like would someone like a Kimi Antonelli, young guy, be able to keep up with everyone else with the same exact car? I don't know. I bet he would.
Potentially, yeah.
The Astri.
And so, exactly. So it's just something about it is interesting. It doesn't need to be that way, but it's just, to me, it's interesting to really shine the driver as much as possible. But I understand that it is that. Like it's not, there's less differences than there ever used to be, maybe.
Yeah, I like the argument, but Formula One is also driven by money. So having different manufacturers bring more money and more people interested in watching it because that is always like, hey, I support that team. It's like Ford and
but money is the
GM.
Resistance to change, to a degree, right? Yeah. Lobbying.
I think it's more like they probably looking to because there was a time that they had 2 different tire manufacturers.
You take something small, and you look at the big picture, and it's the reason why it's a completely different subject, but it's an analogy here of like you're never going to have, and I wouldn't say never, it's been this long progress to have legal marijuana in the United States because of lobbyists and money that keep it from happening. It has nothing to do with anything
Too many lobbies
other than
industries.
money.
Yeah.
soccer. You're not going to see changes in rules and other stuff that's going to make it more exciting, more interesting, make the offense better. That's what they've been doing. Because NFL is an American product. America is built off capitalism. America is built off of money, entertainment. How do I keep people glued to the screen? And they keep changing it and making it more interesting. And true diehard football guys are like, I wish it was more like this. And they're making it to what would be better for viewership.
And all the teams own NFL, so they make the decisions right together, kind of thing.
It would be like an alliance group that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
So we're our own entity, and I want to do things my way, but I'm a part of a league. So you have to do things within the NFL, but I also want to do things my way in terms of merchandising and TV rights. And like over the course of time, it's all become standardized. But it used to be like sometimes certain teams weren't on TV because they couldn't figure out a way to get those deals. That's why the Cowboys became so big, because Jerry Jones marketed the fuck out of it. The FIA being controlled by money is the same thing as FIFA. It's the same thing as the NFL. It's like it controls a little bit where you're going to go because that's where the money is. And at the end of the day, we do things to make money.
Here's
so
my,
let me okay, go ahead.
my take on this is, look, you both said, it's all about money. It's how intricate so many industries. You have to reshape the whole business. It's complicated. And it's also bold to do that. But then would you you don't know how successful it's going to be, and are you just leaving behind billions and involving so many people? And I think from the perspective of someone who really loves the sport, we want to know who is the best, given the right, give everyone the same thing. I think in every sport we'd like to see. In basketball, in every sport we'd like to see
Makes
that.
it real.
Yeah,
Competitiveness.
it's but is it feasible from, can you make it possible that, I don't know if the incentives would be the same. Yeah, definitely. What I would like to see is like just one race a year. One race a year.
Yeah, you don't have to make it a full calendar.
Exactly, one race a year. I bet is going to be the most watched.
And what if it wasn't?
Yeah, I agree with you.
What if it wasn't even with stakes? It's
Like
like the shakedown is like we're starting the season every year with the you just find a way to market it. It's like this is how we're opening up our season. Get eyes on it. I think it would have some sort of effect on people.
Like
it gets
F1 has
bigger-
money. F1 has money. So
course.
F1 could just develop like
One car,
22 cars,
Yes,
but
put
all
on
the
the
same
grid.
standard. Yeah.
Put on the grid and say like, go race.
exactly.
This is FIA's
That'll be the
idea of what
UTMET
the
Formula One. That's the name, the UTMET Formula One.
Yeah.
it's like our FIA's idea of what the 2026 new regulations car should be like. And we made 22 of them, and we're going to get everybody out there, and let's just see what happens.
Worth
So let me
It's like a little
just,
preview of
worth 50 points.
the DRS, and now we're opening the door to an interesting conversation. And I do too.
we're gonna have to wrap up, but
I love this conversation.
Let me
though.
just let me just tell you one thing for us to wrap up and finish the cigar review. Back in the day, in the 90s and 80s, and Formula One had no cap limit on testing.
True.
Or money spent,
Budget.
like budget and stuff. So whoever had more money and more sponsors would go and do that thing. So what FIA did, it created all the regulations and stuff. It created all the regulations and stuff so that they created like a more level playing field for the smaller teams to catch up. So last year, which was the last year of deregulation, right? So that you would be able to see cars performing on the same, like 0.2 of a second, right, of each other. So on the very first year of the regulation, you see almost like a second between the fastest car and the lowest car.
I want to see that. And so basically what you're saying is, so last season is the last season of the regulations that have
Everybody develops,
been
and
the
then
most competitive. And,
yeah.
and it was. When you're
Yeah.
looking at the grid, first place through 10th place was a difference sometimes of 0.2 or less.
or less, yes.
And so
Maturity.
that's why I would say, to be honest with you two, this is probably the most excited I've ever been for the start of a Formula One season because it's the first time there's some new regulation changes and these things we're starting all fresh. Although maybe there's not enough changes, and I'm not saying this because there's not, just maybe there's not for it to be anything crazy. But all the talk that I've been hearing sounds like this should be a fresh, interesting start. Nobody knows what's what.
Yeah.
But when I first started watching, I'd come into the office, be all excited. Oh, I watched this shakedown. I watched this little video, and I saw this. And Hilton's like, wait till week one, buddy. Like,
Yes.
I know you're excited. I'm glad you're excited, but calm down. Wait till week one. So now I control my excitement. I'm not too excited about anything yet, but I am excited for first weekend.
Just see the difference between the cars and stuff.
I'm excited for the first weekend. I think it's going to be...
Those regulations are put in place to make it more equal.
Hopefully it is more equal, because I'll tell you, there's just something about when it is close at the end, I'm not even racing. Imagine the pressure that, Piastri's feeling, Norris, Verstappen, all these guys, because they want to win. I'm just a fan watching it, and I feel a little bit of pressure, anxiety, like in my stomach, like, oh, I really want to see. I mean, all year, you knew who I was rooting for.
Not to mention,
I was rooting for Lando Norris.
Not to mention the Kardashian effect.
And you don't even know about the Kardashian effect, so now it's going to be
Kardashian
huge.
effect,
Maybe that they're like, hey, if you want to stay with Ferrari, you got to get with one of these girls. And he's like, I'll do it.
Before we finish, let me tell
Never
you
had less
something.
grip in 20 years.
We are talking about the stress and everything, and then I was speaking with Dylan before that. We need a catharsis. Man, this is my catharsis.
Yes.
Look how we started, and look how we are now.
Yeah.
Like, way relaxed. We need that. We need to keep this and having fun. And this free conversations are always awesome.
Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Like.
Yeah.
Share.
Share.
Yeah.
Comment. And we will see you next time. Hopefully Conrad will be on and we'll get some guests or something. But if not, the three of us are plenty.
We are. We are multitudes.
Thank you, guys. And girls.